chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha go turn up.
Turn up.
Turn up. Go turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha go turn up. Go turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha go turn up. What's good, Simples? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is the lovely, beautiful
Baby.
And we're coming to you live again with a Sipping and Conversations episode.
Hey, I want to do something because my engineer's not here.
Go for it.
So y'all bear with the
Bear with the production crew, which is 1 and 2. And I already failed because the music didn't play all the way through. So
right.
So I had to
keep talking to
I had to ad-lib a little bit. You know, luckily for me, I know the damn song all the way through. Huh?
Luckily.
It cut off right at the right time.
Who's that, Django and Rick Arnell?
You know, I can't see anybody at the moment, baby. But
is that you, Django? Is that you, Rick Arnell?
Oh, okay.
Hit the like button so I can know that that's you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, Sippers. The old faithful. Yeah. I know that's who that be.
That's who that be?
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank y'all. What's good?
Hey, I'm just So, what? How was your day, baby? How was your day?
Y'all, they getting it in.
They getting it in?
They getting all the coins. Okay? How about y'all? How was y'all's day? And what you sipping on, Sippers? Huh? Listen. Thank y'all for tuning in every week on Wednesdays. You know we have the new time. Instead of 7:45, we on at 8. You know, we just trying to bring this thing, doing what we does, okay? So thank y'all for tuning in. Hello, Russell, Bruh Law, what's good with you tuning in? I appreciate you. Tell us what you're sipping on.
Right.
Yeah? So, once again, welcome back, all sippers, and hello, greetings to the new sippers. You are now tuned in to Sipping and Conversation with
Buddha. And believe it or not, I'm wearing the vintage first shirt we ever did. Vintage. It was, Buddha baby shirt, and I was just like, oh, okay, let's try this. This is me. It was actually a Valentine. I believe it was a Valentine's Day, a birthday gift, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
Came through. Well, for the record, baby is sipping on Canadian Club with some ginger ale, and inside the little bubbles is a lime. You can't see it, but there's a little lime in there. So she got her sippy cup.
Yeah. You got the sippy cup.
How was your day? It was damn.
Listen, I'm gonna break protocol just for a few minutes. So my day, as far as work and everything concerned, was great. I'm thankful to be working in this time. But after work, I got some disturbing news. Somebody close to me, I reconnected with, had passed away. So I would like to give my condolences to the Enos family, which is my daughter's great aunt. She was near and dear to my heart because she was one of a few people who welcomed me into the family.
period. So when the news hit me, in these times, I'm taking it to heart now because I just got the news a few hours ago.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
So, shouts out, to the family, and my condolences are definitely with you, and I'll be grieving with you as well, and I'll be in your midst sooner.
Okay.
All right. So that's pretty much was my experience today, which, I'm thankful for life.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, when things like this happen, it gives you a greater appreciation for,
Mm-hmm.
your life.
Absolutely.
So, there appears to be some new changes to some features that I normally go through, but it ain't working like I needed to. So I'm trying to figure out how to get out of it. So this is funny. This is funny to me. Okay? And I don't want to end it. I hope I don't end this show. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's a little different when you going in the back way on these doing the analytics stuff, engineering pieces. All right, so I don't want to lose the momentum.
Okay.
What did we talk about last week?
Oh, what we talked about last week? We talked about deal breakers, and we had another shout out, a phenomenal person in Toya's Toy Box. She is also a legit sex therapist.
Mm-hmm.
She came in and blessed us with her presence, and definitely every time we all get together, it's definitely an experience as far as the conversation is concerned.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
I agree.
Shout out to Toya's Toy Box.
Yes, and so I did drop her information for those that may be interested at a later point in time. I know she talked a little bit about what she do and what it is versus, where when you hear Toya's Toy Box, you're thinking toys, sexual toys, but basically what she sells and promotes is sexual intelligence and sexual education. But part of doing that, there may be a toy of some sort utilized during the services. Maybe you and your mate want to spice it up, but you want to know how to do things a little bit more better, or you just want to get more educated. Not, because just because we are adults, many of us are sexually active, doesn't mean you know it all. There's different things that you can try if it befits you. There's some no zones. We've established that.
Yeah. Finger, thumb,
but again, some people are very open to trying things with their mate.
Absolutely.
And hopefully this is your long-term life partner to where you're not uncomfortable, you're confident enough in your sexuality that you're not concerned about it being exposed, and if so, then you're willing to say, okay,
I did it, and move on.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And not feel like you are teeter-tottering with your sexuality.
So what was some of your deal breakers, baby?
Sorry. I have cheese and olives right here, okay? Stuffed olives, so I might start smacking, and I apologize, but that's my snack for the show. My deal breaker would be not having a job. I wouldn't necessarily say finances, period, but you got to be working. Definitely need to be working. Another deal breaker would probably be just matching my hustle. I need my mate to, and again, it's not necessarily the dollar amount. Mm-hmm. It's about that go-getter mentality that I really need. Bringing in your 100% effort is a deal breaker. You come into the relationship with me and you don't have 100% effort. I'm not saying being 100%. I'm talking about bringing 100% effort because of pre-existing conditions, past experiences. That's going to be a problem for me. Just my top three right out the gate.
I can dig it. I'm gonna slide along the lines of what she just said, but I'm gonna hit it from a different angle. My main deal breaker is, I hate to sound raunchy in that, but if a woman does not give me head, now that is that is the picture I'm going to paint. But if you want me to get in depth, and what I really was saying is,
catch the show from last week. Don't go in depth.
I'm gonna go with depth. I mean, because it's a little educational, not more raunchy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to do the things that make me happy, right? If it's that or other things, because whatever we're all different. We're humans. We're different. Right. So whatever you need and want. If your mate ain't willing to make you happy in those areas, then it kind of coincides along the lines of what your expectation and your deal breakers are. You said 100% effort. So how can you, in my mind, not saying you, but not in my mind, how could you give 100% effort if you're not willing to even do the things that the person enjoys, even if it is on a sexual level? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you're not willing to, do the things that I like or compromise and understand where I'm coming from and try to meet me somewhere down those lines to a point where I'm satisfied with the effort that you're giving. Okay. Then why even be together? It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street.
Oh, I understand.
Nevertheless, I digress. That was the number one.
I mean, that seems to be the one.
No, it's another one. I mean, I can't really deal with.
You had to elaborate on that.
Well, I mean, I wanted to paint a real picture.
You could have just said being pleasured.
Well, I mean, because
y'all, I'm just joking. He can say what he want to say because I know y'all be talking trash. Like, dang, baby, you gonna check him?
And number two is radical feminism is a deal breaker. Understanding that. You don't need a man mentality. Radical feminism is a definite deal breaker because at any point in a relationship, you want to feel wanted, appreciated, and all those things. So if I don't at least get those two things up front, I'm going to treat you like you're a side piece. That's just what's going to happen. I'm going to play with you. I'm not going to not play with you. But you definitely ain't gonna be the main one.
Right. Okay. So what are some of your deal breakers? Feel free to drop those comments below. Okay. Otherwise, feel free to, all of our lives are posted on the page, and they're on all of our platforms, whether it's, if you are, like, I know we have one viewer that she loves listening, watching this, well, how can I say? She loves supporting the show, period. However, when she's listening, she's unable to tune in when it's live, but because of the nature of her job, she can't physically watch us, so she tunes into one of our audio platforms, and she gets to enjoy just hearing it. And so for her, it's an experience where she can imagine, especially having interacted with both of us, she can now see, like, it makes sense what she's imagining when she's listening. And she'll say, like, I can just see your face now, even though I can't see it. I can just imagine what your face is, and then I can see Buddha's face, So when we get those kind of comments, first of all, thank you. It is highly appreciated. So if you do have your thing about me or him or both of the show, everything, however, hey, there's a recommendation tab up there in the top somewhere area. Drop it like it's hot. Because one thing about it, we like to give you relevant information.
Absolutely.
Okay? Things that are real. Yeah, there's a plethora of platforms that's doing
that
things.
Word again.
You know, that's my word, y'all. There's a plethora of platforms that pretty much do what we're doing, but what we are here to do is to enlighten you.
Try, at least.
No, we enlighten them. They just don't necessarily talk about it up front. They know what time it is. But we are here to enlighten you and just expose you to different perspectives and ideas. Exactly. We're not here to convince you that one way is better than the other. The good part is you get Baby over here that don't have no problems with going toe to toe with your boy. Okay? But here I will say this, ladies and gents. When we defending ourselves for the, being the martyr for the men or being the martyr for the women, y'all better make sure y'all say something. I don't care if you do catch this show on the rewind, okay? Make sure you drop them comments, hit the like button, the love button. Let us know that you saw it. Tell us how you feel, because you know you got comments.
That's it. Always comment. We do see the comments, and just know the chat be live. I mean, the little comment section be just as live as the show.
Yeah, it do. We be going. We do go back and we like to bring it up, or we may use the material for a skit. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll put something together. Like that's a good idea what they say. And then we'll try. To mix it up, because that's another beautiful thing about what we are doing. We are very diverse in what we can do. So you may see me come through with Lula, okay? But then Buddha got his little thing going on. So we just playing around with it and just trying to give it a little life and just make it be something. I gotta stop. I always talk with my hands. Put them down. So, so that's what I want to say, okay? All right. What we talking about this week? Buddha.
What did Lula say? You know what I'm saying? Lula took control of that.
No, she did not.
Yes, she did.
So, Lula said to tune in tonight because we were going to talk about the coronavirus, COVID-19.
And what does it mean to you and I?
Well, let's go based on the definition.
All right.
And this is information from CDC. All right. Coronavirus disease 2019, aka COVID-19, is a respiratory illness that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID-19 is a novel coronavirus that was first identified during an investigation into an outbreak in Wuhan, China. So that's what it is. Okay?
Okay.
And so what we're pretty much going to talk about, we're going to be kind of like all different places. The ultimate conversation is about the impact on you what precautions are you taking for the what if? Are you putting any measures in place in the unfortunate circumstance that you or a family member becomes tested positive? What are you doing on a regular basis? Are you, how are you still fortunate to be working? What kind of provisions are being made with your employer for you, and all those things like that. But I am eating cheese.
Mm-hmm. So
and olives.
So for me, I mean, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for everybody else. And if you have your own experiences, please drop them in the comments.
Absolutely.
My first initial thought was it was surreal. It was disbelief.
Right.
I'm not saying that it ain't true, but you see these things online. I'm like, whatever, man. That's just propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
At first, that's just who I was. That's what it was, and then it hit the mainland. You know,
right.
Except for the China, it hit the mainland, and it's becoming evident.
It got real.
It's got real, like realer than real. Like when I go to the Waffle House.
No.
When I go to the Waffle House, and the Waffle House is closed down, motherfucker, what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
You know, as Baby said in a skit or two before, your Waffle House builds your immune system up.
If you can eat it at 3 o'clock in the morning, goddamn it,
you should be good.
You solid gold. Okay?
And then, you know, even that was kind of like we laughed and joked about it, right? But now we're here.
Right.
And what this here is, you know.
And the thing is, you know, we've been around in our lifetime, you know, like Ebola, SARS,
right.
H1N1, what else? I forgot. But those main ones, you know, those bird flu. You know, we've been around
a long time
for a lot of these different things, but this time it got real. Like, although there were
others
deaths and it was an outbreak and things like that, it was more contained. But this puppy ain't to be played with. And, you know, like, I know that it's a nationwide thing, you know, and everybody, our desire, obviously, is for it to go away.
Right.
But in the likelihood that it just goes away, that would definitely, as a woke, I don't know, I shouldn't use that word woke, but as a
smart
individual, intelligent and observant, I will be looking at how does something come and just go. Because I always say, well, what happened to Ebola?
It's still there.
Like, what happened to swine flu? What happened to all these other things that were killing people and so forth? You know, it wasn't just a third world country thing either.
Well, I mean, I feel like those could be some people, maybe I'm just throwing this out there, they would test ideas to see how the social realm would act in a case of panic or situations where, you know, how would these people move? You know, in case of these things. And not only that, they send these subliminal messages.
Wow, sorry to hear that.
In movies. What?
One of the viewers said, we know someone who passed. Shit got real super quick.
Right. So, you know, they put these movies out here to give you false sense of preparedness. Like, this is what, oh man, like you watch The Walking Dead, you watch all these different things.
I ain't laughing at you.
You know,
he been preparing me for the apocalypse.
And then you get yourself in these situations where, you know, oh man, this is just propaganda.
Right. No, it's for real.
And this is for real. Why? Why is this for real? Even if you don't believe in this virus, why is this for real? Because it's touching your pockets.
Right.
If you can't believe anything else, it's touching your pockets.
Right. And not just your pockets, the world. And I know it's hitting a lot of people's pockets, you know, because 401ks that's being impacted drastically, right?
Stock market.
Right. So, you know, your 401k is part of your retirement. That's, you know, that's what you bank on for when you want to purchase a home, purchase a car, retire, and all the different things, sending your kids to college, whatever you're using it for, you know? That's what it's there for. No, I believe you with regards to these documentaries. I know that these things are still in existence. I strongly believe that even when they stop talking, they as in the media, the government, stop talking about it, making it the thing, ultimately what the goal is to get beyond the curve, because they feel like, right now we all the way up, nothing can stop it. So they want to get beyond the curve, so it comes off as being contained. But when I was reading earlier, they said that just because you may not test positive at a time doesn't mean you can't do it. You can't test positive at a later point in time.
But my question to you, to the media or social, to the world is, how do we get to a point where things don't be as serious as they need to be? You know what I'm saying? Meaning, we go through the bird flu, the swine flu, all SARS, all these different things, and it come and go as such. So it's easily to dismiss this. Like, oh, it's just another thing of a long list of things.
And I think that's probably what the initial, especially when it was in China, but what they failed to communicate or realize is that the actual in-depth nature. But I strongly believe that it's not that they didn't know. They, as in our government, the world, didn't know what was happening. I think that they didn't see the severity of it. And so with that, allowed for them not to move in haste, because normally the goal is to not create a pandemic. Right?
Right.
A mass hysteria. That's usually the goal. But oh boy, once it touched surface on our U.S. soil, that to the government becomes real. But then again, now the more and more you get, the government is becoming educated, CDC and so forth. It's like now they see what's happening because they have to go back to the origin, and with autopsies and stuff and things, they're able to do more studies to get that information. Right. But we're talking about months ago this has been happening. So that's why I'm gonna pause for a second on that. What I would like to also hear, instead of it being so drastic in, fucking with my heartstrings, being giving me anxiety, okay? I would like to also hear just as much about how many people are recovering.
You good, babe.
You understand? Because people are recovering.
Don't keep saying this is death.
They keep talking about the death toll, but yet they also, they're not telling you of these hundreds of thousands. And believe me, there's going to be millions, people. Keep it real. Millions.
If not already.
That's going to be infected. Millions. And the truth is, one or both of us. So, the likelihood that both of us, because of our, we in a relationship, okay? My household, one or all, could potentially be infected at a point in time at this rate.
So, I feel you, baby. And you're right on. But my question to you guys, those who are listening, how does this affect you?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you how it affects me, which I am going to tell you. Obviously. But how does this affect you? Baby, would you like to go first on how it affects you, or you would like me to talk about it first?
It doesn't matter. How it affects me, right now, it's low level, like as far as my regular daily livelihood, it's going to be a little bit low, but I'm not taking anything for granted. I am thankful and fortunate to still be gainfully employed, and provisions are being put in place with my employer for me to work remotely, as with so many other companies. But I've always had that capability to work remotely if necessary and so forth. So that's one measure in place. So I'm still getting a check. You know what I mean? thankfully, even though I'll be home, like many Americans are, so that's a big thing, good thing. Fortunately, I have a daughter that's a high school student, but unfortunately, one of the impacts is how it will affect her graduation. She's not graduating this year. This is not her year to graduate, but being on task with graduation and so forth, you know, but doubling back,
right,
it won't be as bad because thankfully it's not just a contained thing. This is a global epidemic, I should say. Mm-hmm. So that does help, you know, that it's not even though she may be impacted and and all that, we got an excuse, right. Unfortunately.
Well, how does it affect me? It's a major concern. For me, where I work, I'm considered essential personnel.
That definitely.
I'm considered essential personnel for where I work. But where does it affect me? The question is, what's important? Family and being there with them through this process, emotionally, physically, etc., or does it go to work to provide for my family? Is that more important to me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've heard both sides of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with both sides of this because of the nature of my stature at my job.
Right.
Do I let an employee do we let an employee go because of this pandemic to be with their family versus which is important? So some people look at it differently. Do you cling to your family in this time versus me got to work? So for my mental makeup, I want to be able to provide services as far as financially and keep the party going that way. That's important to me.
Right. Because you still got bills to pay.
Because the bills still keep rolling.
You got to eat.
And
being essential personnel, you got to be able to get to work.
Right.
I mean, gas in the car.
And since we are in the state of Florida, which is a right to work state, by the way.
Right.
That, in my mind, means they ain't got to pay your ass when shit shut down.
Yes, and I say no, and I could be wrong because I'm not in HR. I don't really know all of the compliance and so forth. But when the nation, there's certain things that's in place, this ain't the time to, be firing somebody. If it, you just can't fire them. They'll let you go because of sales or whatever, this, that, and the third, or, depending on the nature of the way you work. But I know.
It's the nature of the beast. Like, I was reading an article the other day, baby. They made these people come in and clean up a Chili's at the airport here in our local county.
Yeah. Oh, they gonna catch hell for that.
They let these people clean up and then let them go afterwards. Like, oh, we don't need you ever again.
They'll come back.
I'm sure they'll.
It's just, I think it's just.
But that, in my mind is, if you as an employee, obviously you gotta figure out what that fine line is. Do you need a job, or do I need to come back to this job or find me a new job?
Right.
Because loyalty to me is important, not only in family, friends, but in job.
I'm not loyal to these jobs.
Well,
they can be loyal to me, but I ain't loyal to the job.
Listen,
because of everything you done or mentioned. That's why I'm not loyal.
And that's my point.
I come in and do my job to be great, but.
And that's really what I'm saying is, why do you expect as a job or an establishment for me to be loyal to you? And this is where the struggle is. For me to be loyal to you, when at any moment in time,
right, we've gotten so far away from loyalty with these companies because it's all about a bottom line number. But see now, their bottom line numbers are being affected, but at the same time, because they have been so driven on bottom line numbers, they got stocks, not stocks. They stacked up on their coins that's being affected, and so they have to go and they got the money. It's just a matter of how they want to maneuver this damn thing and who's essential to be left on board.
Right, like essential personnel. Like, at what point do you feel as an associate that goes to work at any job that you feel is not essential enough? Like, I really literally have some debates on who is essential versus who is not essential, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on what is actually being deemed, by the person that's classifying it. Because, and the reason why I'm saying that is, like with Orange County, those that don't know, here in Orange County, we basically have a mandatory stay-at-home order by our mayor. All right. And basically with that, I was trying to see if I could pull the order up. Okay, yeah, I got it. I knew I was going to find it. They emailed it to us because, again, I am in a
You thought you were getting some free days off.
Well,
at first.
Not exactly. I knew that I would have to work because of what I do. I procure goods and services. And so we got to procure those goods and services, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that is extremely essential. However, we don't have to be physically in the building to conduct business. Okay? And thankfully, we have a great superintendent and board. Right. If you ask me, because they are trying their best to accommodate not just administrative level, but the entire district, bus drivers, food and nutrition, and so forth. So that's a good thing. With their same pay, we have a union. I'm not covered under it, but they do. We have unions. They negotiated. They come up with these different things that'll be for instructional, administrative, and the hourly employees. And so it's a lot going on that that people are not aware of. Even though it's a lot of jokes about your kids being home. But what's more concerning to me, okay, is my light bill goes up. You know what I'm saying? Light bill goes up, even if I have to work from home. So should I? I'm potentially going to be impacted that I will be working instead of using electricity at my place of employment. I have to utilize my electricity at home. Right. Okay. To do my work, as well as while they are temporarily on a distance learning platform, the kids, they have to also be using that time Monday through Friday to do their school.
I mean,
that's a big impact. It's financially and then the people are losing their jobs.
Right. So I mean,
how they gonna afford that?
So that's why it's mind-wrapping. It's mind-wrapping to me in certain aspects. Like, so you got people truly losing their jobs. Then you got other people who are more worried about because everybody else is not working. Why am I working?
They trying to, a lot of people ain't working because they can't work because they lost their job.
It's like, what?
You can't please everybody. That's the sad part.
You can't please anybody. So, at the end of the day, as a man who believes in the 3 Ps, which is provide, protect, and pipe, right? This is attacking the protection. Right. Or provide. Part of the 3 Ps. 2 of the 3 Ps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know what? If I cannot provide for my family as a man, when does it break me down emotionally knowing that you can't provide in a situation of need for the person you love the most?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And if they take it as a country, you know, you miss one day. I mean, I get pissed off, and I know some of these others get pissed off. They miss one day of working that they feel like they should work. If they take this away from you, you're going to feel some type of way. But just imagine a whole month of this, right? A whole month of... Listen, I'm not telling on myself. I went to jail for 30 days involved in my life. And that rocked my world as far as rent, car note, and everything else. And it was like a major reboot in my whole entire life. So just understand what this is doing for everybody else.
Right. But what I do like about this order, I don't know, if you can pull it up. I'm just going to pull a couple of things from it, okay? And it's the Orange County, let me read what it says. Orange County, Florida Emergency Executive Order number 2020-04 regarding COVID-19, non-essential travel and safety measures, and non-essential business and essential business. It's just pretty much outlining all the things, blah, 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 due to the severity of the threat of COVID-19. So basically it goes on to say, in the interest of preserving the public health, blah, 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 all of that. You pretty much have to stay home except to conduct necessary activities, which are not limited to, they got basic needs. We already pretty much know what that is. Use common sense, what I'm saying. Food, groceries, checking on your elderly, your dogs, things like that. They are including, you can do the physical activity and exercise, engaging in outdoor activities and recreation without limitation. Golfing, walking, running, and all those things. So you can do all those things.
Well, because those are really individual, one person. You can do it one-on-one versus
absolutely
a team type of atmosphere.
Absolutely. So all non-essential businesses and essential businesses, the following retail and commercial businesses are deemed essential and may. So may means it's optional, remain open, or they may adjust hours, as we know many are doing. Healthcare providers, to say the least, obviously. And not just healthcare providers, animal care providers, veterinarians, psychiatrists, rehabilitation centers.
So a like veterinarians.
Veterinarians and animal care providers
are considered essential personnel?
Essential personnel, because a dog, an animal to someone is
like a partner of
anything,
you know. I understand.
Hospitals, doctors, dentist office, urgent care facilities, clinics, etc. Grocery stores, convenience stores, and other establishments engaged in retail of canned food, dry goods, fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, fish, poultry, other household consumer products such as clean and personal things. So, and it also says farmers markets, farm and produce stands are also included. Food banks, those are considered essential businesses where they could be able to be open. Food cultivation, so fishing, businesses that provide food, shelter, social services, etc. The gas station, hardware, home improvement, banks, licensed contractors. So people that are out there for appliance repairs, exterminators, sanitation, they're still going to be most likely working, probably going to be doing, modified schedules. Laundromats, dryers, dry cleaning services. They still have restaurants going to be open. It's just that you know that you have to go through drive-through, or they have to be a pickup order only.
Right.
Taxis, airlines, private transportation still are going to be happening. Home-based care, assisted living, legal or accounting services, or notary publics. That would be me. So come holler at your girl. Okay. Child care is going to be still open. However, child care shall take the stable groups of 10 or fewer people, inclusive of child care providers for the group. Children and child care providers shall not change from one group to another. So basically, child care facilities can still be open. That enables employees exempted in this act to be permitted to work and so forth. So they should be able to do that because, again, there are essential personnel. The pet supply stores are going to be open, where it gets into one of the big important people, logistic providers, including warehouses, trucking, consolidators, fumigators, and handlers. Telecommunications provided. So I'm just going over just some of the highlighted ones. Waste management is still going to be there. Office space and administrative support necessary to perform any of the above may be open. They may use different hours once again. So I'm telling you all these things because it's important to know. One of the reasons why I'm telling you that I'm essential is because this order does not affect or limit the operations of Orange County, any municipality, the Orange County School District, any educational institution, whether public or private or federal office or facility, blah, 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 blah. I fall in that category. So now, that's how that, so, and then of course it goes a little bit more. But where it gets me is about the penalties. Anyone who violates this emergency executive order shall, upon conviction, be punished according to the law and shall be subjected to a fine not exceeding the sum of $500 or imprisonment in the county jail for a period not exceeding 60 days or by both such fine and imprisonment. So for me, it gets like, I feel, I don't know how to handle that. I know we got to have something in place. But what I talked about the other day was homeless. We have a large homelessness situation here. So how do you identify those individuals that will never be in compliance with these orders?
Well, I get that.
And they better not have no place for these homeless people to go now.
They do.
Because where they be in all this other time?
They do.
No, they don't. They have places, yeah. But there's capacity. When they have capacity.
No. Hear what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the radio earlier today. They are building tents now for the homeless to be able to lay their head, or be quarantined if they are infected.
Okay.
But
they ain't gonna be in compliance with no order.
Actually they are. I mean, if they go to these shelters, then they are in a designated area where they could be. Nevertheless, let's not talk about those who are already there. Let's talk about those who's going to be coming to that point because of said situation that put them in. They could be homeless now. Because you may exempt their rent, their light bill, their phone bill, or what not have you now. But don't fool yourself in understanding that you ain't gonna have to pay that shit when the shit be lifted.
Oh yeah.
And they coming back for that back motherfucking pay. Exempt don't mean you don't have to pay.
Right.
So how you stack your cheddar?
Right. I do know a lot of places they giving people, like they're deferring payments, which I need to call about my payments. Okay. Okay. But they're doing the deferment of payments and so forth to help give some relief. I think they're doing it like up to 120 days, 60 days, 90 days. It just depends on the provider that you use. So, what are some severe complications from this virus?
Lack of toilet tissue. Listen, I mean, I'm trying to wrap my mind around this, right? So, at what point does toilet tissue become an essential thing in life versus, vitamin C vitamins?
So what happened is because there was no certainty with how the world and commodities will be moving, with regards to those logistics and so forth, okay? Because if the government would say, shut her down completely, that means there's no movement. That means whatever is in existence could potentially be the only thing in existence for a significant period of time, okay? And if you got a household of 4 people for 3-4 months, you don't know you know what I'm saying? You don't know when you're going to get some toilet tissue. How often do you buy toilet tissue right now?
But, okay. So
that was what the mass hysteria was about.
But here's my thought process, man.
And this is
the
world.
This is
the whole United States.
This is where I'm at. You know, if you're going to be educated on anything in life, you understand what I'm saying to you? If you're going to be educated on anything in life, be educated on your own motherfucking body.
Meaning,
if you eat something, understand how many hours it's going to take you before that comes out here.
What they got to do with the toilet tissue?
What it has something to do with the toilet tissue is, don't be eating some shit that you know you either A, gonna be at work when the shit come down. Put yourself in a position where you put yourself in a position where you can boop, shout.
Now, first of all, your body does what the body does.
Negative.
The body does what the body does. Your body might be loyal to you, but some people's bodies are not loyal.
Is your body loyal to you?
They ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just talking period. So
they're loyal. They just don't pay attention.
What I'm saying is the issue is
they loyal. They just don't pay attention.
Regardless whether it's your job or your home, toilet tissue is needed. Ladies use toilet tissue every time I hope y'all using toilet tissue every time y'all go in the bathroom. But a woman uses toilet tissue every time she goes to the restroom.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is,
when you are faced with the possibilities,
be very judicial in certain circumstances on what you need and not need. You know, it has become a necessity. Point blank. We live in the United States where toilet tissue is a necessity. Well, all I'm gonna say is, if you are, as a woman or man, if you are out there taking a piss and need to dab dry, what have you? Paper towel, trash.
Don't matter. See, y'all can do this thing right here.
Or not.
Now, we can shake it like a salt shaker too, but it's
or
you're
not.
pissing. You're going to smell pissing later when you pull your drawers up.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, listen.
And you can shake it like a salt shaker off some piss, but you ain't going to let it shake that thing.
At the end of the day,
you got to do number 2.
Be very judicial about how you take care of yourself.
That's just without the same.
Which is funny a lot. Like, all of a sudden, they think they coming up with these brand new ways of how to wash your hands, clean and sanitize your house. Things that you were taught as a kid to do. But now it's like a brand new revelation. Why is that, baby?
I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know why it's such a revelation. To wash your hands.
I'm not going to talk about this person per se, but I'm going to talk about this person.
Don't say their name.
I don't even know his name because I listen to him.
Don't even say because then you give me too much. Just say
I just listen to him on the radio.
Oh, Lord.
And this ain't like a regular radio station that urban people listen to.
No.
But this dude says, I learned something new about washing my hands. He's like, I have not been washing my hands the right way all this time. I've been leaving out my thumbs. So all his life.
How do you wash your hands?
And leave your thumbs up.
What are you doing? Doing this? Like, how do you purposely keep your thumbs out when you got your hand in the soap go on it? So you do it like this.
Oh, partner.
How do you not get that
All
wet?
your thumbs are part of your hand. So he got on the on a locally broadcasted station
And said that out loud.
and said that hey, listen, don't forget your thumbs. You know, for a moment, don't forget your thumbs. But my mind is, I never forgot my thumbs. But I was, I'm listening to this like I can't believe.
All right. So, what are severe complications from this virus? Some patients have pneumonia in both lungs, multi-organ failure, and in some cases, death.
Absolutely.
How can I protect myself? People can help protect themselves from respiratory illness with everyday preventative actions. A lot of this shit common sense, folks. Catch that. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Duh.
We already know that.
Avoid touching your eyes, nose, mouth with unwashed hands.
That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part.
Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
We already do that for most
at
part.
least 60% alcohol if soap and water are not available.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. Stop right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. How many households as of right now, before this point, had sanitizer in the house already?
Like every time I go to Bath and Body Works, I always get the little pocket ones.
Right, because most of the time you use that when you go to any restaurant. Bam!
You know
what I'm
or
saying?
if I go in, I'm gonna wash my hands and then come back to have my meal. Somewhere there's hand sanitizer.
Because you never not trusted anywhere you went other than your house.
And I had 3 kids as a single mom, right? So I was always prepared with some hand wipes, wipes and hand sanitizer. And I usually probably got a bottle of water somewhere and napkins.
Okay.
Paper towels or napkins or somewhere close by, like when I would be out with my kids. So it just kind of became the norm. I'm pretty sure if y'all had this same experience, men and women, drop your comments below and tell me about your experience.
Keep going, baby.
So that's what I did. All right, so how does COVID-19 spread, aka coronavirus? The virus that causes COVID-19 probably emerged from an animal source. But see, they're saying that it did it, but okay, we're gonna let that. But this coming from CDC now, and they said probably. But anywho,
well, that's a lie. Okay.
But it's now spreading from person to person. The virus is thought to spread mainly between people who are in close contact with one another within about 6 feet through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It may also be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it and then touching their own mouth, nose, and possibly their eyes. But this is not thought to be the main way the virus spread. And you can learn more from the CDC.
Essential personnel, guys. Listen. So, here I am. So, we are so woke. I'm going to say that word. Mm-hmm. We are so woke now. So, to the point where if a motherfucker sneeze, we looking at him sideways.
All right. I looked at you sideways anyway.
So how do we get to a point where we dismiss these normal things?
Right.
Now, well, because of the need to work and provide for your family, a person will work sick. Mm-hmm. That's number one.
So the people that come to work and for a fact they're sick. But the difference is you may not know that they're sick right away. Right. By the time they are really sick.
I mean, it's no different from like HIV or anything else.
This is, I'm only prepared.
Well, what I'm saying to extent of you may not know right away. Right. You see what I'm saying? Until you get tested or attacks your immune system in a way where
That's
you
if
feel
you
like
don't, yeah, if you don't
you know.
see by yourself. You can live with HIV.
So in my opinion is know thyself.
Yeah, just pay attention to your body and everything.
Right. No,
but definitely steps to prevent it. Stay home. Okay? Wear a face mask if you're sick. They're advising you not to wear the face mask if you are not sick, unless you're in potentially contaminated or, areas. But, and that's just that. So separate yourself from other people in your home. This is known as the home isolation. So going back to what you mentioned earlier about how it impacts me, we actually have been having discussions that if I have, in the likelihood that something happened to either one of us, he knows what my policies are, like all of the insurance information. That's like worst case scenario. Get it to my mama, okay?
I'm gonna stop you right quick. Because Chris says something off the rip that I agree with. He said, bro, I done been in the airport bathroom and seen a motherfucker clean, not wash their hands. Absolutely. So this is how you change the narrative. Right here, right motherfucking now. If you see a motherfucker go to the door and not wash their motherfucking hand, it is your human right and duty to stop that motherfucker right then and there and say, hey, motherfucker, what the fuck you doing? Man, I'm telling you. If you don't care about nobody else other than yourself because you the motherfucker got to touch the door after this motherfucker, you stop that cat and it's two ways it's gonna happen. We gonna fight in the motherfucking bathroom or you gonna wash your hands right motherfucking now. Cause I don't give a goddamn about your hair hygiene, what you do outside of my presence. But in my motherfucking presence, you gonna have perfect motherfucking hygiene.
You gotta come up. We need to come up with something, like when it be like a stranger and they tell us, say, stranger danger.
No. Listen, hey, homie. I know you ain't not wash your motherfucking hands.
I mean, you don't. I'm just saying, like,
I'm not even ashamed about the shit. I'm not ashamed. I mean, I understand if it was a private bathroom, you won't know. But if it's a motherfucking bathroom when you can see left and right by the goddamn by the sinks, and you see a motherfucker leave the goddamn stall and walk out the hold up. Nigga, I'm saving lives around this bitch.
Yeah, because one of the steps definitely says clean your hands often. But I'm not telling you don't wash your hands.
Absolutely, right? Nick. Absolutely. I'm saying I'm going to fight a motherfucker.
You really want to fight him after he just washed his ass?
No.
That's his question.
Listen. I'm going to wash my hands afterwards.
No.
But I'm going to bust your ass. I'm going to bust your ass for leaving this goddamn bathroom. Because I'm still in the bathroom. I'm going to wash my motherfucking hands and probably take a shower.
Well, what I want people to understand, too, I'm no expert, don't get me wrong.
I know you're in the health field.
You're washing these hands and hand sanitizer, doing all of that.
I'm saving lives.
Just be careful with too much hand sanitizer because we got to have a certain amount of bacteria. Okay? You got to have some bacteria. Even with doing the things to our bodies, you got to be careful because like when you detox, and your body, that detox that you're using is not discriminating between good and the bad. Okay? It's going to detox. So then you have to turn around and put stuff back in your body to build your immune back up. So just be mindful, if you can. Okay, cool. Get your little hand wipe or something like that. But, don't go too crazy. Don't be paranoid about it all. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be doing this for a long time. Unfortunately, this is the new measures that now people are taking more seriously. But obviously, there's still people that are not washing their hands.
All I'm gonna say is, you may not fight a motherfucker. You may not want to fight them, obviously, because they're dirty foot or whatever you want to call them. Sorry, whatever, SOB. But do not let this Negro or whatever they are,
this person,
walk out that bathroom door.
Say it again. So
walk out that bathroom. Bathroom. Listen, you supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side. When you hear that replay,
without having that conversation.
That's gonna be funny.
Without having that conversation.
Nah.
That's what you need to do as a person who's protecting not only you, but the next person.
Yeah. So it says avoid sharing personal household items. Do not share dishes, drinking glasses, cups, eating utensils, towels, or bedding with other people in your home.
Oh! That kind of fucks with me a little bit.
I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
No, it's not even that, because at the end of the day, I kiss
CDC.
you. I kiss you. I make love to you. All this stuff that I like to do. So you telling me I can't have no sex or kiss you, or none of that? We got a motherfucking problem.
Right. Right. But I'm just here to insert the high level information. All of the information that I just pretty much talked about is definitely at cdc.gov. All right. I'm not talking about just made up theories. I'm talking about what the guidelines and a lot of which the government is utilizing, and that this is their reference. Okay, all this material is available, right. But at the end of the day, it will behoove you to practice common sense. Whoa. And remember what your grandmama and them talked about. You know what I'm saying? Boiling the hot water, breathing in the I want to say fumes, but the vapors, and doing different things for, like I have sinus issues that come and go sometimes, so I have to do certain things already.
I'm with you, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think us as human beings, we should expect more out of each other than what we just said. What I mean is, don't be afraid to say the things that need to be said. Meaning that, back to this bathroom situation. If you get in a situation where you noticing an unhealthy sanitized act, speak on it. Because you are the first line of defense, not only for yourself, but for the next person coming after you. We've had conversations about other topics where a person didn't say something and the shit happened to other people years and years and years down the line because of one person not saying something. Right? Here's your opportunity to address a situation in your immediate domain to save lives later on down the line.
Right.
And you are not going to say nothing because you feel like you don't want to be unconfrontational. Listen,
it kind of goes into what I mentioned to my ladies earlier today. It's like, my hope is that, well, first of all, that we all make it through as many as possible, but because of the realities of what this thing is really about. Okay, so my hope is that we recreate or bring back the village mentality, and it goes along with what you're saying as far as when you see something needs to be done. Let's talk about it. Let's come together and get it resolved. with the kids being out of school, and you got a lot of parents working remotely from home, but then there are these essential personnel that have to physically go to the office. Somebody be the big mama or the big daddy of the neighborhood, and see about the livelihood of these children. At least until everybody get to go back to school and resume business as per usual.
And just because you go to school, they allow you to go back to school, don't mean it's over.
No, it's not over.
But listen, man, this is the time where not only, if anything, you need to be aware of yourself. And if you can't speak up for yourself, what you need to be asking yourself is, who are you?
Yeah. Just reevaluate yourself and how you do what you do and what's important to you. Like you were mentioning about earlier, with the person questioning, wanting to not be working. Like, everybody's value system is different. But then at the same time, so many people want to just make an excuse. They just want to
be in the now.
Right. They're not thinking the long term, because if you are not working, your mate isn't working, and this potentially be more than a week or two after, beyond the mandated. You want to
be off because your people are off.
Then what happens if you are actually impacted and now you've utilized your time prematurely, unwisely. You know what I'm saying? So we want to be smart, and that's why I think that this is an opportunity for single parents to sit down with several people,
right?
And to designate somebody. Go ahead and at least be prepared for the unexpected.
For real,
especially if you're the head of your household.
So, going back to that point in time where you couldn't talk to somebody's kid because that's my motherfucking kid. This is hindering that.
Right.
If you don't understand that it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village in this aspect, now you are lost, because now you don't have anybody to turn to in this time.
Nobody want to deal with you or your children.
Well, or they may not be in the exact town that you live in. Your mama could be living 300-400 miles away,
right,
but you don't have anybody to help you immediately in the moment. Because now you lost a job,
right,
or you lost whatever connection you needed as far as your livelihood is concerned, right, to be able to fend for this defenseless person.
Right. So the bottom line, check on your neighbors.
Right.
Check and see if everybody's okay. Check on your parents. Check on the elderly people, persons. Pray for our first responders. Thank you, Rafiq.
Right.
And all of the Rafiqs. Thank you all, the healthcare providers, because I know they are absolutely impacted.
And I will punch a motherfucker if they come out that guy. If they go to that door, I'm like, listen, man, you got two options. You gonna wash your hands, or somebody going to jail. The way my mouth is set up, you gonna be the one in attempted murder.
Right. So I'm just saying, but we really do. We wanted to cover this topic. It was brought up to us,
a couple weeks
back to talk about it. We just kind of wanted to wait a little bit, because that's the thing to be talking about coronavirus. But we wanted to bring it based on real life experiences first and foremost, and
which we had to experience it a little bit to figure it out.
And so far, so good. We are
both essential personnel,
right? And we are working, but because of us both being essential personnel, puts us at a higher risk. So with that being said, there are measures that we do need to be very cognizant of, so that if a situation potentially develops, we are readily armed and ready to make moves accordingly, you know. And so if you got a spare room in your home, go ahead and designate that keep it
quarantine area,
the quarantine room, because like I said earlier, people are recovering. So if we are putting the emphasis and focus on the people that are not making it, we're losing sight that you can recover from this. Tom Hanks ain't dead.
Amongst others.
Idris ain't dead. Okay?
Well, I like for you. I like that you mentioned that.
Just saying.
So, since Idris is infected, you do know that Buddha is available to be your now and up-and-coming sex symbol in this motherfucking world. You understand this? You know, because if you look long and hard in the dark, I have some of those features.
With one eye halfway over.
You know what I mean? One eye.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's coming.
I'm not only time, if you want me to work on my British accent, I got you.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, these are some facts that, now, anything could change, but they're taking the proper measures. I know they got money, but at the same time, the number of people that are infected, they don't have Idris and Tom Hanks money. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that money. But they are able to do these things, quarantine themselves, and get through it. You know? Yeah, it's going to be rough, but you can get through it. So don't, because I'm telling you, I'm probably going to have to end up getting medicinal marijuana because of my ADHD, my anxiety and the PTSD because of all of this. I hope that qualified, this circumstance qualifies me.
PTSD?
Yeah.
Word?
This is very traumatic. Sad. So, y'all think that does that work? All my medical people, does that? You think that? Okay, very good. No? Okay. So thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next week. It is going to be episode 12 of a 12-week period, and then we'll take a little break, recoup, rejuvenate, and come back about 3 weeks later. And you know what I'm saying? We'll be doing some stuff in between, but really. So
stay tuned, man.
Absolutely. Always. Okay? Same time, same energy next week. Yes.